Good morning, everyone. So my question is, why are people still defending Jacob Blake? Why are people defending someone who sexually assaults an underage girl, someone who commits domestic violence, and then is stupid enough to show back up at the same house? Keep in mind, the place where he had previously committed domestic violence, the same address, he shows back up to the same address with his kids in the car. So for all those people that are like, oh my God, those police, those evil racist police shot him with the kids in the car, he shows back up to the same address to commit a crime with his kids in the car. What do you mean he was there to commit a crime? Well, he showed back up at the same house where he previously committed domestic violence and then tries to take that woman's keys. That woman calls the police on him. She's asking him to leave the house. When you show up at someone's house and they ask you to leave and you don't, that's called a crime. It's called trespassing, just in case you guys didn't know. Just in case you idiots on the left didn't know. When you show up at someone's house and they ask you to leave and you don't, that's called trespassing. She calls the police, and this dumb idiot is still stupid enough to stick around, still stays at the house, tries to take her keys. And then the police show up, and you would think, given all the circumstances, this guy has a warrant out for his arrest, for sexual assault, for domestic violence, and now the police have showed up again. Okay, this is the end of the road for him. Now this is the time where he is finally going to cooperate, right? I mean, this is the end of the road for him. Surely he's not going to fight with the cops in front of his kids, right? He's not that dumb. No, he's still that dumb. So the cops go to arrest him for the open warrants, in addition to then committing another crime with open warrants. This is how dumb this guy is. Goes back to commit a crime with open warrants. You would think if you have open warrants, maybe, just maybe, you would just lay low. You would try to do things where you would try your best to avoid doing anything that would lead to police interactions, right? Wouldn't he try to do things that would avoid police interactions? But no. The guy is so stupid that he goes and commits another crime, goes back to the same exact address where he was charged with domestic violence to commit another crime with open warrants. That's how dumb he is, with his kids in the car. And then the cops show up, and then he proceeds to resist arrest. The cops wrestle him down to the ground. He gets back up. The cops try to tase him. It has no effect on him at all. Who knows how many drugs were in his system that day. Shook off the taser, didn't even flinch. And then you would think, okay, well, maybe now you give up, right? All the cops have their guns drawn on him, and they are yelling at him, pleading with him to cooperate. He then goes to try to open the door to the car, and then reaches for a knife. And at that point, the cops shoot him. Yeah, but they didn't have to shoot him. The cop had a gun. Okay, well, first of all, they were in proximity. The cop was very close to him, within arm's reach of him, when he shot him, when he was reaching for the knife. When you were in close quarters, when you were in a little tiny phone booth, a knife is even more dangerous than a gun. He was well within stabbing range. Okay, but yeah, I mean, the cop could have taken a few steps back, so that way he wasn't within stabbing range, and then he could have seen what had happened. Okay? So if the cop took a few steps back, Jacob Blake looks over his shoulder, he realizes the cop is no longer in range where he could really grab him. He then gets in the car and drives away, and now he is a fugitive on the run, involved in a high-speed police chase with his kids in the car. Then what would have happened? The guy gets in a car accident, crashes, dies, kills his kids, kills some innocent drivers as well. Then what would you have idiots on the left said? Well, the cop shouldn't have been chasing him. It's like it just doesn't end. You guys will defend stupidity and criminality to no end. And it just drives me crazy. It blows my mind that there are still idiots that will defend these criminals. Remember like the good old days when criminals were criminals and law-abiding citizens didn't defend criminals? And when idiots that sexually assaulted women, that had warrants out for their arrest, that continued to commit crimes, fight with police, and then attempt to grab a knife and stab them, were actually condemned as criminals? And celebrity activists didn't come out like LeBron James and say, oh my God, this is so awful. Yet more evidence of systemic racism, and black people are living in fear. Black people need to live in fear of the cops. This is just another prime example of why black people have to live in fear of the cops, because criminal idiot Jacob Blake, who resists arrest, tries to grab a knife and stab the cop. Yeah, he was shot. I mean, just, it's unbelievable. And then, idiot LeBron James goes on to say that police, he doesn't know whether or not police, sometimes they leave the house just thinking, oh, today's the day that I'm going to kill a black person. This is what he said, or he said, I think his exact quote was, that you don't know if a police officer left the house thinking, I'm going to end a black person today. What? What? Firstly, a black person has a 1 in 3 million chance of getting shot, of being shot while unarmed by a police officer. And keep in mind, 1 in 3 million includes even justified police shootings. So then, when you look at unjustified police shootings, the number is even smaller than 1 in 3 million. Even smaller than that. And then, when you look at unjustified police shootings, and then you try to look at the ones where there is clear evidence, where you can prove that the police, who shot the unarmed black person, that the shooting was racially motivated. Racially motivated. Police shootings of unarmed black people. There is virtually nothing. I mean, in past memory, you can't name a single case. Go to Black Lives Matter. I mean, they keep a very thorough running tally of every single unarmed black person that is shot by police. And you have all the hashtags, say their name hashtags. Go through those say their name hashtags and show me one case where you can prove that the shooting was racially motivated. I mean, there's certainly incidents where you could show that the shooting was unjustified. Absolutely, there's unjustified police shootings of unarmed black people. They're extremely, extremely rare, even rarer than 1 in 3 million. They're extremely rare. But then when you look at ones where you can prove to me that they're racially motivated, you have nothing. I mean, can you prove to me that those officers that shot an unarmed black person that was unjustified, can you show me, were they in the KKK? Did they send out any racist texts? Did they have any racist social media posts? Certainly if they did, that would be headline news all over the place. So then you have idiots like LeBron James saying that he doesn't know if cops are leaving their house trying to end a black person's life. The only thing you were doing is dividing the country. You were fanning the flames of racial division. And what you were saying is factually untrue when you look at statistics. You can't point to a single case, not one case where you can prove to me that the shooting of an unjustified shooting of an unarmed black person was racially motivated. Point to one case, not even one case. Go down the Black Lives Matter, say their name hashtags, and show me one case. And yet this idiot, who has a huge platform, it's very unfortunate how big his platform is, he gets to tell his 40 million Twitter followers that they should be afraid of the cops. And what does that do? What message does that send? When you are supporting people that are fighting with cops, that have active warrants out for their arrest, for sexually assaulting underage girls, and these are the people that they're supporting. Why? Just why are they supporting these criminals? It's just unbelievable to me. And does nothing except divide the country, tear it apart. I just don't understand it. Anyway, that's my rant. Hope you like my video. Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe, and I will see you all next time.